Buddhist psychology for dealing with painful emotions. Painful feelings are a part of life. We tend to keep them inside, and not know what to do or how to react. This is an area where Buddhist psychology can be of great help. When you experience a difficult time, it is often the support of the people around you that keeps you up and helps you move forward. But what about when you don't have close friends or family or their support? Then it's time to dig into what Buddhist psychology can do for you. It exists to put an end to human suffering. We typically see Buddhism as a major religion in the Eastern world. 500 years ago, the movement was born as a philosophical and psychological system, not a religion. In fact, according to the ascetic monk, Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, Buddhism is the science of the mind. The Buddha founded this way of thinking with the purpose of showing people a way to eradicate our own suffering. He used hypotheses and a thought structure which can be very helpful in understanding and accepting emotions. The Four Noble Truths of Buddhist Psychology. Buddhist psychology is based on an idea that may seem pessimistic, but it is actually inspiring human nature, suffering. Based on this idea, he says there are four noble truths. Most of the teachings of Buddhist psychology are included in these truths. They are also the basis of the Buddhist meditation system. First, suffering exists. Suffering has a cause, and the disorder can be ended if its cause is removed. Finally, we must follow the Eightfold Path, eradicating our suffering or dukkha. To face difficult situations and eradicate pain, Buddhist psychology says we must understand its root. Only when we have determined the cause will we be able to free ourselves from our suffering. It's the only way we can see the futility of worry and discouragement. 10% of life is what happens to you. 90% of life is determined by how you react. Stephen R. Covey. According to Buddhist psychology, we all have habits that have caused us to ignore the truth of life. In other words, we do not know anything about the various processes and stages of life, and this is what causes our suffering. Dukkha comes from desire, attachment and ignorance. But it can be overcome. Buddha. Action ideas. The last of the Four Noble Truths mentions the Eightfold Path. It is a path consisting of 8 ramifications or ideas of action that help you grow in harmony, balance and total awareness. It is usually portrayed in the form of the wheel of the Dharma, each spoke symbolizing an element of the path. We can group these branches into 3 main categories: wisdom, the right perspective and solving problems; ethical behavior, correct behavior, speech and livelihood; training the mind, the right effort, concentration and mindfulness or meditation. These 8 ideas should not be seen as linear steps. Instead, work on them all at the same time as much as you can. Misunderstood happiness. We all want to be happy, but no one agrees on what happiness is. Everyone has a different idea of what it is: climbing the ladder at work, material possessions, leaving a legacy. Even when we meet all these goals we set for ourselves, we will not feel complete. When one of our desires is fulfilled, we move on to another and then another. Little by little we get caught in an endless cycle. In the end, we follow the false hope of being happy, the need to free ourselves from attachments. Buddhist psychology sees these longings, accumulated in our heads, as a great distraction. As our longings lead to attachments, to people, material things, beliefs. In fact, this is precisely what causes the greatest suffering. When we become attached, we identify with other objects or people and lose our identity. In other words, we forget who we are and what we really need as human beings. Buddhism gives us tools to use to work through attachments and find understanding. Only when you have reached that point will you understand what else you need: personal growth, harmony in your feelings, and live life more consciously. How to stop suffering? Through meditation. The Buddhist practice of reflection is designed to increase understanding and wisdom and eradicate suffering. While specific techniques vary between schools and traditions, they all have the same goal. The point is to reach a state of maximum awareness and peace. These are the main movements of Buddhism that can help you when you are in pain. Theravada is analytical. It describes the various psychological or meditative states and structures, the meditation experience. Zen focuses on spontaneity and intuition of wisdom. The purpose is to find the natural harmony and avoid dualism in the understanding of reality. Tibetan is about the profound understanding of reality. It focuses on the unconscious and symbolic mechanisms of the mind. It is the most symbolic and mystical of all the Buddhist traditions. Pure Land Buddhism emphasizes devotion, humility, and gratitude as direct paths to spiritual fulfillment. It is a form of devotional meditation centered on mantras. Buddhism encourages you to be open about your feelings, to be aware of them, express them and accept them. They are part of your life, but like anything else, they can change, so there is no need to try to control them.